All right, guys, let's get right into it. The 2021 Acura RDX. Love the sweeping gauge action, and I absolutely love this interior. Acura said they were going to step it up, and step it up they did with the luxury. Nice soft touch materials here as well. You have your piano black and just soft leather. They call this interior color parchment. Now, before we get too deep into the interior, I definitely want to step outside of the car, do a little exterior walk around. Then we'll get back into the car, do an overview of the interior, and then we're going to do what everybody came to see, which is drive. And I'll tell you one thing, you're going to love the noises that this car makes. All right, guys, here she is. The 2021 Acura RDX. This one is equipped with the technology package, which I'm going to go over in just a second. But let's start with this key here. Pretty standard. Lock, unlock, hole for your tailgate, and hole for your panic button. Pretty standard stuff. But just taking a look at the overall styling of the vehicle, Acura really brought it back with this. It's aggressive, but not too aggressive. It's classy, but not too classy. This front grille I just absolutely adore. You do have LED headlights, tail lights, as well as turn signals, so LEDs all around. And taking a look at the wheels, these are just going to be your standard wheels. They're 235 19-inch wheels. Now, if you step up to the A spec, which is mostly a design package, but if you step up to the A spec, you do get a nicer rim. Bringing it on to the back here, got to be honest with you guys, this is going to be my favorite view, and it's because of these right here. It is 2020. This is a 2021 vehicle, and guys, we have real tailpipes. Real chrome tailpipes. I love it. Acura, please keep that up. Please keep that up. All right, you do have your 12-way power driver seat, as well as your 2-person memory seats. Taking a look at the back here, this stereo cover is magnificent. All right, this back seat here, it's pretty standard, it's pretty average. Nothing too special to talk about. You do get a nice view from the panoramic roof, as well as the USB ports. You have an armrest back here with 2 cup holders, as well as 2 other cup holders in the door pockets. Taking a look at the tailgate, I have some stuff back here for you just to kind of show you the space. You do have some underfloor storage as well to give you even more space. 60/40 split seats. You just pull your 2 handles here and they'll lay them flat. Of course, a power tailgate. Can't imagine a car in this class without one. And let's go ahead and step into the driver's seat. Thanks for the welcome, Acura. All right, starting this car up. I love the engine note that it makes. You know, turbos are usually pretty quiet. This one is no exception, but it just sounds really good. And I'll let you take a listen outside as well. All right, and just going over this interior, like I said, you have your memory seats, all your power controls here. You have all your safety features in one area, as well as your brake features. The steering wheel is nice, thick steering wheel, leather wrapped, of course. Everything over here is for driving. Everything is over here is for radio and all your different phone controls. This 10.2-inch screen that Acura gives you here is really nice. Now it is controlled by this touchpad, which is not my favorite. You kind of put your finger anywhere and it pops up close to where your finger is, and then you kind of figure out where it is and just swipe it around. Not my favorite. Either a dial here would be great, or if this was touchscreen, but believe it or not, it is not. Looks like it should be. Of course, you got your dual zone climate control, heated seats, as well as auto heated seats, which is pretty neat. You do have auto start stop, which they say helps get better gas mileage, but I'm going to make sure I keep that off. I am not a fan of it. Gas mileage in this car is rated at 21 city, 28 highway, with a combined average of 24 miles per gallon. I'm getting about 24 miles per gallon. Right now it's saying 23.1, and that's with pretty spirited driving. And then you have your 10-speed transmission here, park, push for reverse, or pull rather, push down, push for in, and then drive. Now Acura has this big knob here, which looks like a volume knob. It's what they call their dynamic modes. And take a look at the animations on the screen. It's one of my favorite parts, and the noise that it makes. So snow mode, it looks really neat, high quality HD. That's your comfort mode. You have sport as well as sport plus. Look at that. Very Fast and Furious. I am definitely going to keep it in sport plus mode. This car does not have the optional adaptive suspension, but it is an option on this car. Pretty much when you put it in sport mode, it's just going to control the throttle tip in, as well as make the steering a little heavier for a sportier feel. They also say it gives it a little bit more of a nicer engine note. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take this thing out for a drive. Now this is a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine. It's making 272 horsepower. And I'll tell you one thing, you feel that 272 horsepower. This car gets off the line pretty well. It moves pretty well. Sport mode, comfort mode, doesn't matter which one. So I'm gonna turn out on this street here, and we're gonna give it a little gas and let you guys see and hear what it feels like. All right, here we go. Woo. All right. I felt a little torque steer there actually. This one doesn't have the super handling all-wheel drive. It's front-wheel drive. The super handling all-wheel drive is an option, but it feels pretty good in sport plus mode. That throttle tip in, you absolutely feel it. It doesn't feel like your typical turbocharged engine. Honestly, it's not much turbo lag that you get, especially in a lot of the sportier SUVs with an automatic transmission. I'm gonna put it back in comfort mode. And the 10-speed is very smooth. Very smooth. It doesn't hunt gears too often. Kind of knows what it's doing, and I actually appreciate that, because once you start getting up into the 8, 9, 10 gears, a lot of those cars seem to get confused. This is not one of them. And this street is actually the perfect street to show off just how composed this car is over bumps. It's just comfortable. It's not too soft, but it's definitely not rough at all. If you like a sportier feel, you'll definitely appreciate how the RDX feels. If you remember the original RDX, it was released in 2006. And it included also a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and the styling was very dynamic for the time. I remember seeing it and being blown away that it was an Acura, like wow. And then they came out with the 2nd generation RDX, and it kind of lost the sporty factor. There was no more turbocharged engine, although it did have a V6. The styling was extremely conservative in comparison to what we're looking at today, or the 2006 model. But believe it or not, that was actually the best-selling RDX so far. People snapped them up, but you know, that was also when crossovers were getting really, really popular, so everybody was buying one. Now, if you're looking for the perfect daily commuter, I'm gonna have to put this one up there. As far as all the competitors go to the RDX, you have your Audi Q5, BMW X3, Mercedes-Benz, the GLC. But this one is, to me, probably the best overall package of them all. As far as all the features that you can get, as well as the performance, you know, the German rivals are definitely just going to be a little bit more expensive, and they also would be more expensive to maintain, of course. You don't get that solid Acura reliability with the Germans. So this car starts at $38,000. With the technology package, you're looking right around $42,000. Now, if you option it out with every package, you're right under $50,000, which is not a bad proposition for everything that you're getting with the vehicle. I mean, when you look at the comparable cars, you're going to be paying close to $60,000, and again, you don't have the reliability that Acura provides. I would probably option mine out with the A-Spec package in that gorgeous blue color. Has a dark rim to it, looks really, really good. You know, I'm actually quite impressed with this highway ride. It's a lot smoother than I anticipated it to be. It's not floaty, it's not uncomfortable. It'd be great on a road trip. Nice soft leather seats, your heated seats. I love looking out over the hood here and seeing how athletic it looks. You have the big bulges there. Let's slow down a little bit and let them go. Feels nice and tight through these corners. Man, that power is impressive. And the noise that it makes. You know, one of my favorite things about these sportier SUVs is just how unassuming they are. Acura claims a 0 to 60 time in the low 7-second range. Now, you're not going to be blowing the doors off of Camaros and Mustangs and things of that nature, but if you catch somebody asleep at the light, I'm sure they will be surprised at what flies past them. And I love the way it feels a lot smaller than it looks. It drives a lot smaller than it looks. It feels tossable. It has a really good sporty feel to it. It doesn't feel too boaty or anything like that. Now, Acura said they were going to bring back a sportier feel for their cars, and they absolutely did. This in the A-Spec package looks phenomenal. The new TLX also is going to have an A-Spec package. Well, it has one. The new MDX that's coming out next year, it's going to have another A-Spec package. They're really dedicated to it, and I'm happy to see it. With everything becoming electrified and cars kind of becoming a little bit more quiet, it's nice to see that an automaker is still trying to show, you know, a little love to the enthusiasts. Kudos to Acura for that. I can tell this car can handle a lot more. The chassis just feels really nice and tight. And you have a nice big commanding view of the road. Rides a lot higher than it appears. I wasn't expecting to feel like I'm sitting up so high, but with the way the dash is, I still feel like I'm in a more of a cockpit feel, not like I'm sitting on top of the seats or sitting on top of the car, which some cars definitely make you feel like that in this class. Now, what would be really amazing is if Acura released a Type S version of this RDX. Something to compete with, let's say, the X3M, the GLC AMG, with super handling, all-wheel drive, maybe 400 horsepower. That would be a fun build. Now, you do have paddle shifters on this RDX. If you take a look at the transmission here, you have a D/S. Just press that one time and it'll go into sport mode, and then you can downshift from here. 5, 4. Let's take off. Nice. Now it does shift, it will upshift on its own. Make sure you're not causing any damage or anything. Not a feature I would probably use too often, but nice to have if you ever wanted it. Man, this thing feels so stable through these turns. I am impressed. I am extremely impressed, actually. It's very car-like. Oh, wow. Very flat through the corners. You know, Acura, you got a fan out of me with this one. A fan. All right, so going into my final thoughts on the Acura RDX. Ladies and gentlemen, this car is impressive. It's impressive. If it wasn't on your list, if you're looking for a crossover and it wasn't on your list, be sure to add it to the top of the list. Make sure it's one of the first ones that you go take a look at. I think you're gonna love it. If driving is something you really enjoy doing, if cruising is something you really enjoy doing, this car will definitely take care of both of those for you. All while getting decent gas mileage, as well as having solid reliability. You just cannot go wrong, feature for feature, price for price, with this Acura RDX. Now, if you enjoyed this video, definitely be sure to subscribe. And make sure you hit the notification bell so you can get notified of all of our videos as we release them. We will be releasing videos weekly. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.